If you ever decided to look up the word Compton on YouTube, you've more than likely come across a negative video or a video with the word hood in it or something like that. Not that there isn't any negativity in Compton, it's just the fact that a lot of people are thrilled by the spite, so that's just something that they want to see. I decided to take a different approach with the whole videos in Compton thing because I actually live here and I don't always want to be represented by like a negative video. It's bad enough we already got people that don't live here saying, oh, you're from Compton, oh, have you ever been in handcuffs or something like that? Yes, but that's not the point. In all honesty, we need to evolve, we need to mature, we need growth. So I decided to walk around Compton interviewing a bunch of people, asking them their happiest moments, asking them for life advice, asking them if heaven had a phone, who would you call and what would you say? And a huge shout out to everybody that's in the video who took the time out their day to allow me to give them a little 3-question interview. For sake of the video's length, I decided to upload 1 question and 1 video at a time just because I don't want it to be like an hour long or something like that. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you happen to see yourself in the video, make sure you like, comment, and share. It's absolutely free and I really appreciate it. If heaven had a phone, who would you call and what would you say?
Who would I call? Man, I'd call God and I'd be like, help, you know?
Yeah.
Give me some clarity, some wisdom, you know, just to deal with life as best as I possibly can.
Okay.
No one in particular, you know, besides just, God.
Alright.
First person I would call is Jesus and tell him how much I love him and how much I thank him for being there. Then I would call my mom and tell her how much I miss her, and my wife and tell her how much I miss her, and I love them all.
Man, if heaven had a phone, I'd call my mama, tell her I love her, I miss her cooking, and you know, just keep watching over me, and you know, just keep me in the right direction. That's all, you know, really it.
Yeah, you ask these complex questions. If heaven had a phone, who would I call and what would I say to him?
Go throw it to the trash right there. Oh no, wait.
I would call Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
And what would you say?
And I would say that, Martin, we need your help now.
Yeah.
We need your help, brother, because we still haven't reached the mountaintop. We still haven't reached the promised land.
Yeah.
And we need your help to help us reach there. That's what I would say.
If heaven had a phone, who would you call and what would you say?
I would call God and ask him if I'm doing okay.
Okay. Alright.
I would call my dad, I would call my father. I just ask him what's up. I just want to hear his voice again. I hope he's in heaven. I hope he's not in hell.
Man, I called my little friend Dominique, man, and I would have told him that night he went out, I would have told him stay at home, don't go out, and he'd still be here right now.
I pretty much would call the friggin' president and other presidents around the whole globe so they can try to fix this world up because God is not happy.
If heaven had a phone, as in, if someone who's dead that you know, who would you talk to and what would you say?
Oh man, I'll talk to my daddy. Oh, I would talk to that man. I would call my dad. I would. Because he's a failure. He failed me. I'm so disappointed. I go outside, I see other mothers with their dads and kids with their grandpa, and I'd be so envy. I'd be so mad. Like I never really admit jealousy, but that's one thing that makes me jealous, to see somebody being able to still have their old ass daddy. Sorry. But their dad, and I'm just like, man, even if you got to take care of him, it don't matter, because I was daddy's little girl. And for him to pick a controlled substance over being a wonderful dad, it kind of like, it scarred me forever when I realized that my dad, I talked to my dad like a week before he passed away, like before he was murdered, tortured and murdered. I talked to him and he asked me for money. He couldn't even spell my name right. That even bothered me, but I didn't let him know because I wasn't a defiant kid. I always try to still be a good and respectful young lady. So when I got the news that he passed away, it hurt me to my core, because I was like, I know what he died over. He died over drugs, trafficking, all this, and it was like, so I'll pick him up, I'll call him, and I tell him how disappointed I am to him for him giving up his job. Yes, I will. Okay. That's the only time I will be rude.
Yeah. And what would you say to them?
I'll call my grandma, tell her I miss her.
Alright.
I would call my grandma and I would call my grandpa and I would tell them, look at me.
You call and what would you say to him?
I just told you this, my mom. I miss her, I love her, and shit, just thank you.
Okay.
If heaven had a phone,
Yeah. What would you call him?
I would call God and say, when are we being raptured?
When are we being raptured? Okay. Alright, thank you.
I'll call my grandmother and tell her that I love her.
Okay. Alright.
Man, if I haven't had a phone, I'd probably just call my dad. You know, he just passed away. And, you know, just tell him how grateful I am of him. Even though he already knew it, I'll tell him again. You know?
Last question. If heaven had a phone, who would you call and what would you say?
Getting emotional now.
I would ask God if I could call my mom.
And what would you say to her?
She promised me that she would never leave me. My mother was married.
Thank you for your speech.
And I just asked her if she could just hold me one more time.
Alright, thank you. If heaven had a phone, who would you call and what would you say to them?
I would call my grandpa to ask him how heaven is, and also I would ask him if you can look over down this family.
Okay, alright.
Who would I call? Probably call my mother and tell her, what would I tell her? I'll tell her where I've just landed and what's going on. That's what I used to do all the time. Every time I flew somewhere, I would call my mother and explain to her the sights, the scenery, and show her some background photos or some background video. That's what I would do. And tell her I'll be on my way in some years. So just make some room for me.
Yeah, alright, thank you.
Alright.
My grandpa, and just let him know I love him.
Okay.
I will call my grandmother and thank her for all of the advice that she shared with me. That now, when I was younger, it sounded like someone just complaining in my ear or disciplining me, but now as an adult, I understand, and I would thank her.
Okay. And then final question, if heaven had a phone, who would you call and what would you say?
If heaven had a phone, it would be a question of me wanting to know, what's the reason why so much unfair treatment amongst different races? Why has it been allowed to go on so long? The unfairness, the mistreatment of us as people, and how everybody else is treated better than we are when it comes to helping us out or doing things for our community. Anything that remotely is very helpful to us, we won't receive it or we won't get it until it's been protested for or somebody having a big hoorah about it. That's when they want to start trying to fix it. Why does it take so long for us to be appreciated as people? Okay. So yeah, that's about it.
All right.
I've been blessed and I haven't recently had anybody, immediate family that I've lost or anything like that. So if I were, I would probably reach out to my grandpa, which is my dad's dad, that I really never met. So that's what I hope. That's what I would reach out to.
What would you say to him?
I would say, actually I did meet him, but it was just childhood memories.
Yeah.
I would say, thanks for always loving me.
Yeah. Who would you call and what would you say to them?
If heaven have a phone.
Yeah. Who would you call and what would you say to them?
God.
What would you say to them?
What would I say to them?
Yeah.
Well, but I'm speaking to myself.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying that you're in heaven?
I am, up and down.
I understand. All right, thank you.
My mom.
What would you say?
I will tell my mom, take care of my kids. I love you.
Yeah.
everything. She's everything for me. She's my mom. She's big.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching the entire video. If you didn't see yourself in this one, then you're definitely in the second video. Well, the second part of this video or this question. But if I can get at least 5 likes on this video, I will immediately post the second part to this question. Lastly, I would just like to thank everybody that just watched the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your day.